In the Arkansas Delta, just south of Altheimer, lies a quiet lake with an unusual story. In the 1930s, this place became the site of one of the most ambitious farming experiments of the New Deal. This is the story of Lake Dick, Arkansas. Lake Dick is located in Jefferson County, about 4 miles south of Altheimer, and roughly northeast of Pine Bluff. The lake itself is an old, U-shaped oxbow, a remnant of a river that once flowed through this landscape. By the 1930s, the Great Depression had devastated farming communities across Arkansas. Tenant farmers and sharecroppers struggled to make a living, and owning land of their own seemed almost impossible for many families. President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal created the Resettlement Administration in 1935. Its mission included helping struggling farmers and creating planned agricultural communities. In 1936, the federal government brought that experiment to Lake Dick. Instead of simply giving families individual farms, Lake Dick was designed around something different. Families would live together in a planned village while working the surrounding farmland as a cooperative. 25 white families were originally selected for the project. Preference was given to men between 25 and 40 who had farming experience and fewer than 6 children. Over time, Lake Dick became home to roughly 80 white farming families. Members of the cooperative were assigned different duties. Some raised livestock, others cut timber or worked the fields, and cotton became the community's chief crop. The community was designed to provide much more than houses. A potato storage barn, a sorghum mill, warehouses, and mechanical shops. Education was another important part of the experiment. Lake Dick had its own school, giving children of the farming families a place to learn, while their parents worked the cooperative fields. For the families who lived here, Lake Dick became more than a farming project. It was a community. People worked together, shopped together, went to school together, and depended on one another for the success of the cooperative. In 1938, Lake Dick was photographed as part of the federal government's Farm Security Administration photography program. Photographers including Russell Lee and Dorothea Longa documented the people, homes, farms, school, and everyday life of the community. But the cooperative experiment wasn't easy. Lake Dick was more experimental than many of the other New Deal farm communities. Then America entered World War II. Federal money and attention shifted toward the war effort. While the Farm Security Administration faced growing political opposition, the federal resettlement experiment was coming to an end. In 1945, the Lake Dick Cooperative Association was dissolved. The land was sold to Ben J. Altheimer for $276,000, ending the cooperative experiment that had begun during the depths of the Great Depression. Lake Dick was an experiment born from one of America's darkest economic times. For nearly a decade, families tried to build something different, a community where farming, cooperation, and shared resources could offer a better future. The cooperative is gone, but the story remains in the landscape, the historic photographs, and the people who once called Lake Dick home. This is River Roots, keeping Arkansas stories alive, one story at a time.